can to make it improved for you. So I want to tell you about a few things that we're already doing here on the campus and wanting to let you know that what you will expect once you get here. First of all, make sure that you get registered for our apps, and they'll tell you much more about those things. So please look at your emails so you can make sure that everything that we want you to have, that you have. All right, so let's first get started with all the improvements on campus. I wish I could ask all of you, what have you been doing? How you been? I can't do that because then we'll mess up our Zoom conference. People will forget to put their stuff on mute and so on and so forth. I hate meeting this way, so I cannot wait to see you. I'm going to share my screen and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. All right, I hope that you all are able to see this. Hold on 1 second. Let me try this one more time. I had to do something real quick. Sorry about that, folks. This always happens when you're trying to do the work. Here we go. All right. I'm going to share my screen again. Oh. Thought I had it all up and ready to go. Let's try it one more time. All right, hold on. So as I'm ready getting this stuff together, I thought I had it on, but as you know, it always happens. Technology always gets bad when you're trying to do this. I've done this 100 times in a day. It decides to mess up. Looking for my PowerPoint one more time. Okay, let's see if it's up here now. Well, as we are talking, our theme for this year, Mr. Fielder, can you see that?
I can see it.
Oh, awesome. All right, there we go. Our theme for this year is pray until something happens. Pray until something happens. And we're asking all of you to look at our theme this year, and we'll be talking about various prayers, various opportunities for us to pray until something happens. I know that I've seen some of you who posted some pictures about you protesting this year in this summertime. We want to thank you for that. We want to thank you for standing up for justice. We got to pray until Breonna Taylor, until police brutality stops everywhere. It is our opportunity to pray for that until it happens. We want to pray for that, making sure that we have a smooth, safe transition on campus. We want to pray that we don't have any incident of COVID-19, that anyone will not break, no one will break our PFA bubble. And we want to pray that we will have the best year yet. So as you think about what you're praying for, I know this seems a little corny sometimes. It's not something great and grandiose. It's just simple. We need to pray. We need to pray and pray again. Christ said we must pray without ceasing. We must continue to pray until something happen. So we are asking you all this week, all the months that we will be together, that we will pray until something happens. Please, please, please do that. And so before we begin, we want to do just that. Bow your heads. Dear God, you are so incredible. God, you are so amazing. And God, you have already done so many things for us. And we're so happy to have an opportunity to be on campus and even some online. We are so happy to have our staff members back. None of them have COVID-19. We have kids who are back and none of them have COVID-19. We are just ecstatic. Father, we're asking to be with our parents. We're asking that, making sure that they have the finances that they need to be able to sustain life, but also to be able to have us to be here on Pine Forge's campus. We want to thank all of our staff members who have worked so hard to make sure that we get everything we need. And we also want to thank all those who have contributed money and time and their energy to make sure that we have the best plan to carry out for this entire school year. God, thank you for each kid. Father, thank you for each student. Thank you for each staff member. We're asking you of those who are journeying on their way right now, on today, on Wednesday, and on Sunday, that they may get here and get here without any incident. Thank you, Lord, for all that you have done. We believe in you. We believe you, God. We know that we are doing the right thing, and we're asking you to help us to carry it out, to have faith and works at the same time. Thank you, Lord, for all that you've done. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right. Push is our thing. Real simple and real plain, but it is something that is powerful for us to do this year. Well, I want to tell some of you about the improvements that have been going on campus. We are so delighted that we were able to get a few improvements, not a whole bunch. Again, we didn't knock down any buildings. We didn't, you're not going to see some grandiose thing that's right in the middle of campus that's different. Your dorm rooms did not quite change as much as we would have liked them to, but there are some simple improvements that we hope that you will be happy about once you get on campus. First of all, we have the Alumni Association has helped us with a couple of projects. The first one is we have new lights outside. You'll see those lights. They're really pretty. They light up our campus, and we're so happy with that. Sometimes it's a little dark in different places, so we wanted to make sure that we had nice lighting on campus. Even close to the road, we have a few more lights that will help illuminate that area. So as you cross bridges, as you cross that bridge, ladies, and even young men, we will be able to do that and do that safely. For the young men, let's get started with them. We have a new worship room for you. It is redecorated, or I won't say redecorated, but renovated. We have new carpet down, we have paint on the walls, we have new ceiling fans, new lighting. All of that is great. And so we are so happy that the Alumni Association has helped us with this endeavor to get a new worship room for our young men. And even we may be able to worship there when we are free of COVID-19 and we're able to come together as a group. We will have some prayer services or some worship services or even some movies in that particular spot. So we are so happy about that. And young ladies, I don't have a picture of this, but Dean Marshall and the deans of Kimbrough Hall have just done a fantastic job with your new space. There is a space downstairs where we used to have food or our cafeteria. It is now all for you ladies. I don't want to give it away, but you know how Dean Marshall does it. She goes in hard, and she has done an excellent job decorating and reconfiguring that space. young ladies, just for you. I heard it over and over and over again. Where's our space? What are we? They have, the boys have all this stuff and we don't have anything. Well, the girls now have a space for entertainment just for you. And so we are so happy to have a place for you to have a lot of fun. Let's keep going. When you see on our campus, we are now putting down our social distancing signs. We have directional signs that will be going up this week, and we will be making, you will be clear on what and how you're supposed to do. Remember that those 3 things that you're supposed to do always, 3 things always, 3 things always. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance. You're supposed to be 6 feet apart. The only person that you can be close proximity to, who is your roommate. That's it. For first 14 days or so, you will be with your roommate. Get to know them, have fun with them. You should know all about your roommate because that is your campus family for right now. When you see them in your room, you can take off your mask and talk to them as normal, but everybody else should not be piercing your 6 feet distance. So make sure you wear your mask, watch your distance, and wash your hands. I'm gonna say it over and over and over and over again until we get it through our heads. We need to wear your mask, watch your distance, and wash your hands. That has to happen all the time. All right, that was my commercial again, and you'll hear me say it about 15 more times during this presentation. So let's go to our next slide. The next thing, we have been talking about our renovated space, our STEM space. We were able to do 2 renovated rooms. You have a new chemistry lab and you have a new biology space. And so Miss Corinne Joseph is so happy. She has a new smart board. She has new desk that she can move around. She has, when you want to use your microscope, she can pull the electrical sockets down so that you can enjoy her class. We know that she's already a phenomenal teacher and she's going to be even better now with her new space. So we have done it has been an incredible job that the Alumni Association, along with all its members, has contributed over $250,000 to make sure that this space happens. And also, Adventist Health has also done that for them. They gave us $100,000 that helped us with our new space, and we are so happy about it. Next, now I know it looks like it's the same, but it's not. It's a little different. It is a little different. Your room is a little different. If you can see in there, we've cleaned everything, disinfected your spaces, and we have to do that over and over and over again as we move through this entire year. You have to disinfect your space all the time so that we will be free of COVID-19. What are those 3 things that we're going to do? We're going to wear our masks, watch our distance, and wash our hands. Oh, that's another commercial. Make sure you do that every time. And the only person that you can take your mask off with in your room is your roommate. You got it, your roommate. So in your rooms, you will have all the regular things, of course, but you will also see that you will have a couple of new devices. One is our UV Angel that will be in your room. Girls, you will definitely see it because it's hanging right down in your room. You'll see that. And then young men, it is right up in your ceiling, and it has a light there. And in that particular UV Angel is an ultraviolet light that cleans the air so often in your room, so that even if your roommate has, so that's, first of all, that you're getting clean air, Even if your roommate has COVID-19, hopefully we put enough stuff in there that will help dispel some of that. All right, so the UV angel is there in everyone's room, and we want to thank the Cheathams for doing such an awesome job of putting all of these in our rooms. Dr. Cheatham and his wife contributed an amazing amount of money. Oh my goodness, an amazing amount of money to make sure that we remain COVID-19 free throughout the entire year. And they've helped us with these devices. So if you ever see them, if you know them, please don't give them a big hug. You gotta stay 6 feet apart. Just say, thank you. Just say thank you. So we appreciate what they have done for us. We're gonna go on. And we're asking you, if for some reason the bulb goes out, or if for some reason there's something wrong, it has a slight noise, a little white noise that you'll hear, and make sure that it's going. Make sure that it's on all the time. If that noise stops, we're asking you to make sure that you tell your dean or your dorm assistant that, you know, something has happened to my air, because you need it to help clean your air every day. So make sure that you do that.
Oh, I got on.
All right, there's a little video I want to show you. All right, how about that? I should have got a better picture. Sorry about that. So also in all the buildings, we have HEPA filters in every space. So you will see these large, big air pieces that clean, big equipment pieces that clean the air, and it takes in the bad air and takes the bad air out to the open air. So we've ducted those places, spaces out to the open air. So it just cleans the air for us, taking in bad air. Fresh air comes in. If it gets contaminated, it takes it in through that machine, and it goes back out. You will see several of these all around the campus. There are about 19 of them all around the campus, 1 or 2 or 3 in every building. We are asking you that, first of all, it's contaminated air that goes through that. So it is cleaning and it is moving. So we're asking you, do not touch it. You have to have a hazmat suit on in order for you to actually change the filter. It is dirty. It is something that we don't want our hands to touch. So please do not touch it. We will turn them on every so often throughout the day, so it will clean the fresh air it will clean the air that is stagnant in the buildings and make sure that the fresh air is pulled in. So we're asking you, please, please, please do not touch it. So to make sure that this works properly, we are asking you that you keep your doors open, slightly open for most of the time, unless you are changing or something of that nature. We're asking you to keep your windows partially open, about 2 or 3 inches, 2 inches or so, that the fresh air can come in. When it pulls that fresh air in and it takes the bad air out, and it does it quite often over and over and over again. That will help us to have nice, fresh, clean air. So we know that with this virus, COVID-19, we know that we have to wear our masks, wash our distance, wash our hands, and also we know that we have to have clean air. So we are putting that, we put that HEPA filter in every building, and we put the UV angel in your room. So we are making sure that our air is clean. All right, we're making sure that our air is clean. So we're asking you, please do not touch them, because they are contaminated with bad air going through the filter. Don't touch the filter. Don't put your poke your fingers in there. Don't do any of that. Just stay away from it. Let it work. If something happens to it, if it's not running right, or something, I bumped it or something, please let the deans know, the support staff and adult know, that we can make sure that it's working properly, because it's there to clean the air and to keep you safe. We have done all of these things to keep you safe. Yep, your part is to wear your mask, watch your distance, and wash your hands. All right, thank you on that piece. And again, these were donated by the Cheathams, and we are so happy to have them in partnership with us. Getting to some of the good parts. All right, we have, for the girls, you will see that's going up right now, they're working on it right this moment. In back of the dorm, in back of Kimbrell Hall, you will see that there is a new volleyball court. I remember last year, it was, who was it? All the girls, Lene, Lanice, all of them trying to play volleyball while the boys were playing basketball, and they just couldn't get, it was just horrible. They were bouncing the balls over, the boys wouldn't let them play, and it was just crazy. But so we decided, you know what? The girls need their own space. So in the back, we will have a nice volleyball net and court, especially for the girls. And they have a basketball hoop as well. Right there in the back of the dorm, they can go out and play when there is time to play. So we are so happy. We thought about you girls. You have now your own entertainment space that you can have fun in. You have now your own volleyball space, and those ladies who love to play basketball, you can take the net down and let the basketball hoop up. So we are so proud of that. It is getting fixed as we speak. All right, guys, we didn't forget about you. We didn't forget about you. What we have outside, you know, that old, and I should have had a picture of it. I do have a picture of it, but I don't even want to go because I'm not good with my technology today. Today is a bad day for me with technology, not bad hair, but bad technology day. So I'm not going to even attempt to pull that up. But you know that old basketball hoop with the two poles on it that was partially coming down because people kept dunking on it and pulling it up? Well, we got 2 new ones just for you. We are now paving the black top and making it smooth so you won't fall and bust your head. And you can play with 2 new basketball hoops right outside of Handy Hall. All right, we're asking you not to try to dunk on these things because they're up there and they're not supposed to fall down, but we don't want it. What happened to our other ones. It is falling down, now it's crooked, and now you can't even shoot. We don't want that to happen. So we're asking you not to dunk on it, but we are letting you know we want you to have fun. Now, we won't be able to play on any of these things until we get through our 14 days. The only person that you should have your face mask off with is who? Your roommate. For 14 days, we will make sure we social distance ourselves, that we will watch our distance, wear our mask, and do what? Drink fresh water. Oh yeah, that's coming too. But no, we wash your hands. Wash your hands. That's what we have to do every day, all the time. And even the state has said, even when you're COVID-19 free on your campus, because we got people like myself and the staff who come and go every day, you got to wear your mask every day too. So we are going to make sure that we do those three things: wear your mask, watch your distance, and wash your hands. All right, young men and young ladies, we are trying to prepare a great place for you. We know it's not the best in the world, but we are giving you all we have with new places to have outdoor activities. All right, let's keep going. We also have prepared your own PFA mask. So in your bags, when you get through registration, you'll have your own PFA mask, and you'll have two different kinds. My favorite one is the one that's printed PFA. I like that one. I love it. However, you can wear whichever one you like. All right, we're asking you to make sure you get a Sharpie and put your name in it, because everybody has the same ones. We didn't get 100 different kinds. Everyone has the same one. So make sure if you want to keep yours and you wash them, that you clearly put your name in them so that they will know that it is yours when it's lost. And you're not gonna lose it, because you're gonna wear it all the time. Wear your mask, watch your distance, and wash your hands. That's what you have to do all the time, all the time, all the time. All right, so we're asking you though, that when you wear it once, you make sure you wash it and hang it up. I think Dr. Cheatham had a video about that, and we wanna make sure that you watch that video and you use it. All right, wash your hands, watch your distance, and what? Wear your mask. You got to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. The teachers are going to have even the mask on, and they will have also a face shield. So they will be looking a little strange. You'll also see that they have these barriers to you, because you can make them sick and they can make you sick. So we don't want anybody to be what? Sick, because we have created the Pine Forge bubble. And we don't want it to pop by anybody, by you or by the staff. All right, next. All right, I've already said this. I got a little secret for you. I know I've been talking fast. I know that you said, oh, that's nice, but I thought about you. And we had one more thing that Dr. Cheatham helped us get. It's hot. It's not that hot today, but I know it gets hot. And in those rooms, I was standing in one of those rooms this summer, and I almost sweat my eyeballs out. It's so hot. I said, how can anybody stand to be in this heat? Well, I'm tell you, we got a little secret for you. No, we didn't do anything grandiose. It wasn't that great. It's not as big as you'd like it to be. It's not like some of your homes. But we have. Are you ready for it? I need a drum roll. Guess what? I don't think they're ready. We have air conditioning in everybody's room. Did you hear me? We have air conditioning in everybody's room. I saw it myself yesterday. Everyone has their own air conditioner. Yay! All right. You see my excitement? I'm more than happy. I am happy about it. We have air conditioning in everybody's room. So, but we're asking you, please don't tear it up. Don't kick it. Don't knock it down. It's just a little thing. It's just to keep you a little cool. It's not gonna make you feel like you're in an ice cube. It's just gonna take some of the heat off your back. That's all it's gonna do. And we're asking you to take care of it. All right? Dr. Cheatham and his wife donated these things to us, and we gotta take care of it. Can you help us take care of it? Please, please, please. You can't put it on 62 because it's not gonna get any cooler. You gotta put it on a nice 70, 71. It's gonna be cool enough so that you won't sweat your eyeballs out like I did when I was standing in Danielle's room. So you must help us do that. Don't tear it up. Don't pull it out of the window. Don't do anything to it. It's been donated, and if you tear it up, we don't have no more for you. That's all we have is yours, and you're not getting anyone else's. So if you tear it up, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna be hot. You're gonna be hot. You're gonna be hot and sweating, and you don't want that to happen. So also, you know that we're plugging all these things up into our electrical system, and I know when you plug a hot comb up or a blow dryer or a refrigerator, sometimes with all that stuff, guess what happens? You blow the circuit. So we've turned them all on and the circuit's not blown. So we're asking you, and we're looking into how we can get a better electrical grid, but that takes a little bit of time. So I know this is not in anything that you have read thus far. We haven't sent this to you, but I had to say to myself, how can we make sure that we keep these rooms clean and from the electrical system blowing up? We're asking you, if you please, you can bring your refrigerator, but just have one running at a time. Choose one, just choose one, because you have air conditioner, you have your UV Angel, you have your what else do you have? Some of you have your refrigerator, and some of you got big refrigerators. So we're asking you, please, please, please share one refrigerator so the dorm room don't blow up. We trying to get new dorms, but we don't have them right now. But in order for you to stay cool, you got to make sure that you don't tear that thing up. And you got to make sure that you only plug only one of those refrigerators up. All right? I know parents came and brought about 2 or 3 refrigerators for y'all because they didn't think they're going to we were feeding you, right? But please, 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 to help us with this, just plug up one refrigerator. Put the other one on top. We'll store it for some other stuff later on. So, all right, did you see all the stuff that we have for you? Are you excited? I'm excited. Happy New Year to everybody. Listen, Mr. Reynolds is more than excited to have you all come back. Mr. Fielder is more than excited. Ms. Rhodes is more than excited. The staff is ready for you to come back. We are happy. We're going to be so happy to see you, but you gotta do. You gotta do these 3 things. Wear your mask. Watch your distance. And what's the third one? Wash your hands every day, all the time. We have put throughout the campus, especially in the dorms right now, places where you have no excuse. Sanitation stations, and wash them. How long are you supposed to wash them? For 20 seconds. Keep wringing those hands until you get them completely dry. We have put those in the dorms. We want you to wear your mask, watch your distance, and wash your hands. Now, things are gonna look a little different for the dorms. You can't just go in the bathroom all the time, anytime you want to, have fun with your friends, curl your hair, do all this stuff, look at, you know, hey, don't I look good? I look so good. No, you gotta do that in your room. You gotta get in that bathroom, do your business and get out, because there's bad air that can be in the bathroom. The bathrooms have been fixed. Bathrooms have been worked on with the air filters young men and young ladies, but you can't stay in there all day because there may be some contaminants in there. So we ask you to get in there and get out, all right? We need to do all of those things. We are so happy. I cannot wait to see all of you coming back. Even if you have friends, you say, hey, we got a brand new dorm. Our dorms are better. Our things are doing better. We got lights. We got UV angels. We got Hepa filters. We got everything. All right? Tell your friends. They can come too. I hope that you're friends. Now listen, when you see your friends, we want to give them a Pine Forge hug. No Pine Forge hugs. We want to dap them up. No. We want to high five them. No. You just say, glad to see you. Glad to see you. Hug them from a distance. Pull out your hands like this. Oh, I wish my arms were so far around I can hug you from here. 6 feet distance. Do not give them a hug. If they try to hug you, run away. They may have the virus. I need you to keep our PFA bubble strong. I know you want to hug them. I know you want to go up to them and say, oh, I miss you. We haven't been together since March 16th. Oh, my Lord. And we've been talking on the phone. I just haven't had a chance to say hi to you. You're part of my family. Yeah. Talk to them from a distance. From a distance. You'll be able to hug them way later. If we do what we have to do now, then later we can have great fun. If you hug and touch each other and high five each other and do all of that, we will be back at home. You understand me? We'll be back at home. You have to do what I ask you to do now. No hugs, no kisses, no high fives, none of that until way later, till after our 14 days are over and we've created our Pine Forge bubble. Now, the people that you definitely want to hug, I know, you want to hug Dean Rhodes, don't you? You want to say, Dean Rhodes, I miss you so much. She's going to run away like she always has run away. She's going to move away from you because she cannot hug you all year long. So she doesn't mind at all. She said, Mr. Reynolds, I really don't care. I don't want them to hug me anyway. All right, so make sure that no hugs. We just give a PFA sign. Somebody make up a PFA sign, something for us so that we can get this together. We are staying away from our staff, 6 feet distance, and we're staying away from each other, 6 feet distance. The only person that you can talk to without your mask is who? Your roommate. That's it. When you're walking along the way and it's not your roommate, stay away from them. 6 feet distance. We don't want to shut us down. People want to shut us down. And if you do these things, they will be right. They said you couldn't do it, but I don't believe them. Pine Forge students can do anything. We can do all things through Christ, can't we? And you can do it. Wear your mask. Watch your distance. And do what? What's the last one? Wash your hands. All right. I got that out. I want to tell you guys, we are so happy that you'll be on campus. Not everyone is going to be on campus in their schools and all other schools. We have the privilege to be here on campus, and we have fought hard to make sure that you have that opportunity. So please don't mess it up. We are asking you to do all that you can to make sure that we mitigate this virus from our campus, that we create our Pine Forge Academy bubble, and so that nobody can penetrate it. If you see your friends not wearing a mask, you don't got to scream and holler at them like I did, but you can just say, hey, dude, don't mess us up. Wear your mask. Wear it like you're supposed to. Wear it over your nose and over your mouth. Over your nose and over your mouth. We don't want anyone to mess up our Pine Forge Academy bubble. We can do this. We can stay COVID-19 free for an entire year. We can do it. And then we'll be able to send our graduates off. Hopefully we'll be able to get them a nice class trip. We're working on that too. We want to have all the fun that we possibly can have this school year. So with that being said, I want to thank each and every one of you for already doing your part. You've already done your part by making sure that you are social distancing yourselves from some of your family members, that you haven't been going out and running all over the place, that you have been doing an awesome job. So please, 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 please make sure you continue to do that even now. Thank you. I can't wait to see each and every one of you, and we'll see you later. Have a wonderful, and also we'll say again, Happy New Year! Thank you. That's from Mr. Renner.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I hope that I've been enjoying reading your responses in the chat. That's just great for me. And yes, there are lots of things that have changed on campus. There are a lot of new things that are on campus. Yes, there are some things that you're used to that we can't do right now, but we will still have a great year. And I'm really excited about what's going to happen. We have 2 more people who need to chat with you all today. And I'm not sure if she's ready yet. I'm looking. Mr. Reynolds stopped so short that I wasn't quite ready. But we have Miss Joseph, who's going to talk to you all a little bit more about how we move around campus, 1. And I don't see him now. I don't know if he just wants to say a word or 2. Mr. Fielder, are you still on? If you just want to say hi to our students.
Yes, I'm on.
All righty.
Yes.
Can you say hi?
Sure.
And then we'll hand off to Miss Joseph.
Hi, everybody. Good to see everybody. We're excited. It's clear that this school year is going to be different from any other school year we've had in our 75 years of history. And, 5, 10, 20 years ago, I would never have imagined that we'd be in this situation. But I just want to take this opportunity to tell you how impressed I am with our returning students and families, and our new students and their families, for the dedication and commitment that you all are willing to put in. This is a faith journey that we're all going to take together. And as Principal Reynolds has said, we are so excited. There's been a lot put in to prepare for your return. And we just want to say thank you for continuing the tradition here at Pine Forge Academy, and being part of this great educational institution. And of course, we also, lest we forget, I just want to share a text with you. Principal Reynolds mentioned the Pine Forge Academy bubble, and I just want to take a text from Psalms 34, verse 7. Psalms 34, verse 7. And it says, "For the angel of the Lord is a guard. He surrounds and defends all who fear him." We've been having that Pine Forge bubble, not necessarily with this pandemic that we have to create even more so now, but God has been our bubble for 75 years, and we just pray that he will continue to do so. So let's push, keep praying until something happens, and keep on praying even after stuff happens. So we're just so thankful and we're excited. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fielder. I appreciate it. Mr. Fielder is our historian and our fantastic vice principal. Mr. Fielder was my teacher. I always get excited when I see Mr. Fielder. He just makes my day. So we are excited about having Mr. Fielder with us for yet another year, coaching us and telling us what to do. He's great. He's great. Do it, Mr. Fielder. Do it. So young people, it is almost 10 o'clock. I'm afraid to let you break because I don't know if you'll come back. Here's what I want to do. Those of you who are new students, I definitely need you back. Those of you who are returning students, I need you back too, because you are going to be the leaders of my houses, and I need you to know what we're doing today. So here's what I will do. We're going to call it 10 o'clock because it's 9:59. By the time I finish talking, it'll be 10 o'clock. We are going to take a 5-minute break. 5 minutes. Five. Those of you who know me know that when I say 5 minutes, I mean 5 minutes. 10:05, we will get started on the button. So if you need to take a minute, step away, handle your business, you are welcome to do that, but make sure that you are back in the space at 10:05. That gives you just a couple minutes to do what you need to do, because you should be listening and writing notes because you want to earn points for your houses. So 10:05, take a minute, go get a snack, turn on, check your social media, all that stuff. 10:05, be right back. Parents who are just getting on, if you are here in the room, we are off for about another 4 minutes, and we'll start our presentation again at 10:05.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Back, please make sure that your device is on mute so that we can do our things. So if you're not muted, make sure that you are muted, please, and thank you. All right. Ms. Joseph, I am going to do the easiest thing, which I think for you is going to make you a co-host so that you can share your screen.
I wasn't ready to do that.
You're not ready? No problem. I can do it.
No.
I think
Okay.
You're good. You're good. There we go. Yes?
Awesomeness
It?
is
Okay.
great.
We like this together. All right, everybody. We're back. Look at you, on time and everything. Even the people who left came on time. I'm so proud. Y'all are making my life so great. So here is where we are. We are taking a look at how we're moving around the campus, and Ms. Joseph is here with us. Oops, I almost removed somebody. Whoever you are, I'm so sorry. Let me fix it. Ms. Joseph is here with us, and she's going to talk to us about how we move around campus, what it looks like, et cetera, et cetera. If you are on and you've just gotten back into the room, I'm going to ask you to mute yourself. Make sure that you are muted so we don't have any feedback on our call. All right, with that said, Ms. Joseph, can you still see my screen?
Sure can.
All righty, then it's all about you.
All righty. Is Dr. Cheatham on this call? I was told he is. If he's not, that's fine. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and continue. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Miss Joseph. I am the science teacher. And as you guys saw, we got a new space and I'm super, 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 super excited about that. We got new smart boards, we got all these things. I'm also, what else am I? I'm a coach, so I got my coach shirt on today, you know? So I'm excited for my ladies. There's someone who needs to be on mute. You can get on mute, please. Thank you. I'm also a coach, so cheerleading, Centricity. Woo! I'm excited to start that back as soon as we're done with those 14 days. But some of you don't know that I also have a specialty in public health. So all of this with COVID has been a huge deal for me. And so I'm happy to talk to you all about what you need to do to make sure that you are moving around campus the way you are supposed to. We'll be looking at 4 things. So I'm just gonna give you some reminders about how COVID-19 works. I'm gonna tell you about the app. I'm gonna tell you what your role is to keep the virus out, and then I'll leave the space for questions from the chat, okay? So let's get this done. Can we go to the next slide, Ms. Rhodes?
Yes. Did it go?
Yes, it did. Okay. All right. So we already know that COVID-19 is a respiratory disease. It affects other systems as well, but respiratory droplets, if you are within 6 feet of someone for 15 minutes or more, you will, if that person has the virus, you will likely contract it. So coughing, sneezing, singing, speaking, all of that can transmit the virus. It can also be spread by the fecal or fomite route. This is why Mr. Reynolds talked about making sure you clean the bathrooms and not staying in the bathrooms too long, because what you don't want is for someone to use the bathroom and then you get COVID that way. That would not be fun. Of course, we don't want to touch our nose and our eyes. We don't want to touch our face, because what fomite means, that just means that it lands on surfaces and sits there for a second. So you need to make sure you're washing your hands, like he said, whole bunch of times. So you're going to hear that several times starting today. And when you get on campus, it's going to be so ingrained in your memory that you're going to do it right. Okay. It can remain in the air for 8 to 13 minutes and it is not foodborne. So that's good to know as well. Okay. Next slide, please.
It's not liking me. Hold on.
No problem. You could just do it from the, it doesn't have to be in full slideshow if that would be easier.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm trying to get there. I'm so sorry.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
Oh, it went. Go back one.
It won't let me.
Can you come out?
Yes. Let's try that.
Yeah, let's just do it this way. Okay, so common symptoms for young people. We know that's not the same for young people as it is for older folk. So you will more than likely experience loss of taste or smell, fever, myalgia, which is just muscle aches. Of course, there are other symptoms like cough, nausea, shortness of breath, chest pain, and things of that nature. So we need you to be monitoring your symptoms daily. And that is why you have to fill out an app. We're going to show you that in a second. Because we know that if someone is pre-symptomatic, those 2 days right before they start to show symptoms, they are spreading virus. And if you're asymptomatic, you just don't know you have the virus, so you could be spreading symptoms. So you have to make sure you are checking yourself daily. So go ahead to the next slide, Ms. Rhodes. One of the first things you have to know for the procedures, you guys should have gotten this notification today. There is a form that you must fill out. We are going to eventually transition to the app. It's not quite fully developed for us yet, but we do have a form, and you must, I repeat, you must fill out this form every day. If you don't fill out the form, you won't be allowed in the building. Now, some of you, you know, I know how you students think. I've been around for a while now, and some of you may think, I don't feel like going to school, so I'm gonna just not fill out the form. It doesn't work that way, okay? Because what you're going to realize is that if for some reason you are considered to be sick, a lot of these symptoms that we looked at is very similar to the cold. It's very similar to the flu. And what we don't want is to have to isolate you, right? If you are not really sick, okay? So isolation is a whole big thing. We have some extra care rooms just for you, and you will have to stay in those rooms for an extended amount of time if you are sick. So we need you to make sure you fill out these forms accurately every day, okay? Next slide. All right, so when you come out to school, right now you are in stage 1. That's why I did not put that part on the slide. You should be quarantining for those of you that are at home, meaning you're not going out to stores, you're not going out shopping and all of those things. But when you get to school, we will transition starting next Monday to the first 14 days. These days are critical to make sure that you do not get sick. So again, your family group is going to be your roommate. That is the only person on campus that you will be allowed to not wear a mask around. Why? Because you don't sleep in masks, right? So your roommate will be the only one that you are not wearing a mask with. Once you are out of your room, you need to wear your mask. If you're in the shower, of course, you know, there are different protocols that you'll have to follow. Your deans will let you know about that. But once you leave your room, you need to have a mask on. After those 14 days, so on September 7th, that's Labor Day weekend, okay? Then we will expand to family groups. That's when you'll be allowed to play your basketball games and use those new courts they put outside and interact with your classmates a lot more. So how do we move around the campus? You could go ahead to the next slide. There are some things that you have to make sure that you are doing to keep yourself safe. Mr. Reynolds already emphasized this many times. You need to wash your hands before and after meals. That sounds like a no-brainer, but we have to remind you, wash your hands before you eat and after you eat, okay? Because you're bringing your hands likely close to your face as you eat. You don't want to make yourself sick that way. Please wash your hands after using the restroom. Again, this sounds like a no-brainer, but some people, you know, I don't know. They just don't do it. So here's the reminder. Wash your hands when you use the restroom. Wash your hands if they are soiled, of course. Disinfect your hands if you are not near soap and water. We will have sanitizer all over the campus. If you cough or sneeze, if you touch a surface, just make sure you disinfect your hands. Sharing of items. You know, having been a student, I know from Pine Forge, I know how easy it is to just share things. In this COVID season, let's just try and refrain from that. But if you must, let's say you forgot your pencil and you came to class without a pencil, make sure that if you borrow a pencil from a classmate, just sanitize, okay? I see a question about sanitizer. If you need sanitizer in your room, you'll have to provide that, but there will be sanitizer around in all the buildings, okay? But it would be great for you to have your own sanitizer in your room. Just wash your hands and disinfect as much as you can. The next thing you will notice when you get on campus, you can move to the next slide, Ms. Rhodes. Of course, you want to wash your clothes with warm soapy water often. The reason I want to emphasize this part in particular is because we need to make sure you are washing those masks. A lot of people reuse masks, but really and truly, you should be washing your masks before you use them again, okay? It would be nice if you could have as many masks as possible so you can just use a different mask every day until you can get to your laundry. But let's say you only have 5, make sure that you are washing your masks, okay? Just go to your sink. You can use your hand soap, wash it in warm soapy water for 20 seconds, and then hang it up to dry in your room. And once it is dry, you can wear it the next day. Okay, but let's try and refrain from re-wearing masks that you wore all day the previous day. Why? Because your nose kind of acts like a vacuum on those masks and it pulls contaminants to the outside surface. So what you don't want to do is just keep touching up the mask and all of the things that you pull towards the mask when you were breathing gets on your hands. That will not be cool. We will also have disinfectants in your dorms as well as in the school to help make sure you're safe. So when you go to the bathroom, you need to make sure that you are spraying your toilets with disinfectant, okay? You spray in the water, you spray around the rim, you make sure you spray that handle, okay? The floor around the toilet, because again, it passes through the fecal route as well. So make sure you use the disinfectant that is in the bathroom every single time you use the bathroom. You'll get adjusted to it, okay? Just spray the bathroom when you use it. Spray the sinks, okay? The showers will have to be cleaned as well. Anything that is high touch, we need to make sure that you are keeping it clean. This one I want to emphasize. When you get to the school building, as well as, you know, other buildings on campus, but particularly the school buildings, there are going to be signs and decals as well as a barrier in the hallway. We have a nice, you know, barrier that separates the hallways into 2. And we'll have nice decals and stickers all placed on the floor for you. There will be cones. Please go the correct direction. I'm sure all of you have been in Walmart and in the stores and you'll see arrows that say you can walk this way, and then it will have an arrow saying you walk out that other way. Please make sure that you are following the signs in the correct direction. That helps to keep the air flowing in one direction. Do not, I repeat, do not jump the barriers or ignore the decals. You know, the teachers are going to be following these same rules that I'm giving you right now, these same procedures. And we do not want to see anybody thinking it's fun and trying to, you know, hop over the barriers for fun. Don't do that. If we see it, you know, there will be consequences for that. So please make sure you are following all the signs and decals that are in the buildings. All right. Next slide. Okay, this is just a reminder that we will be using, you're fine, Ms. Rhodes. We will be using a bleach solution. There are some other disinfectants as well, but you want to make sure that you are not rubbing up on these surfaces with your clothing when you spray, because if we use the bleach solution, you will bleach your clothes. We don't want that. So make sure that you are standing far enough away so that you don't bleach your blazers and your skirts and pants, okay? I'm not gonna go through this whole thing. The policies and procedures for COVID-19 are on campus, but this is just a reminder of why we are doing all of this. The whole point of quarantining for those first 14 days is to make sure that no one is getting sick, okay? So for this first algorithm A on the left, we will be making sure you check your symptoms every day. And if something happens, if you know you end up with some sniffles or something of that sort, we will have to separate you from your roommate. And again, we have an extra care zone in both dorms where you will be asked to go to, and you will have to stay there, do your work in these rooms if you get sick. And this is why we need you to be accurate. and we need you to be truthful when you fill out those questionnaires. We want to make sure that no one is getting sick, okay? So for those first 14 days, we will be checking on your symptoms quite frequently. After those 14 days, we will still be checking. And you should be checking yourselves every day. But at that point, we are hoping that that bubble that Mr. Reynolds talked about will be intact. And so for that case, we will, I would say, lighten up some of these restrictions in order for you guys to be able to interact with each other a little bit more. But the only way that this will happen, and it will happen well, is if you are following the rules. If people are jumping decals or thinking it's funny to pull down their mask and fake cough on people, or, you know, just be blatantly, just have blatant disregard for any of the rules, someone may get sick, okay? And we do not want that. So make sure that you are following every rule that is given on campus. Make sure you're moving in the directions you're supposed to move. Make sure you're wearing your mask and washing your hands and disinfecting and all of these good things, okay? I think Ms. Rhodes was answering some of these questions in the chat. I'm gonna look really quickly to see if there are any additional questions. Yeah, so I don't think there are any additional questions, but yes, if you have any problems with allergies or like asthma or something like that, it's not the same as COVID, okay? So if you know you have allergies and you're sneezing for that reason, these are things your deans will have to be aware about. The nursing staff will also be aware of that. And so we will make sure we monitor for that as well, okay? So that is, okay, I see a question about
Ms. Joseph.
go to
Ms.
the
Joseph.
hospital. Yes, Dr. Cheatham, go ahead.
Ms. Joseph. Sorry, I'm driving in the car, but I just want to emphasize that for the first 14 days, it's important that every student just tell the truth, right? There's no penalizing. You're not being penalized because you have symptoms. You may have allergies, and that may cause you to sneeze, but just say that you have allergies. You're not going to be quarantined in the room for 14 days or by yourself for 14 days because you have allergies. It gives us the chance, though, for the school nurse to come and check on you, and you may have to, you know, we probably will get a COVID-19 test because we can't have one student, not one student, walking through the halls with symptoms that we haven't ensured that there's not COVID-19. So you may go to the isolation room for a few hours until the nurse can come see you, and then we go and get a COVID-19 test, and then we'll know for sure whether or not your symptoms are related to COVID-19 or not. And then once we know your symptoms are related to allergies, then you go back to your normal stance with your roommate. So for the first 14 days, we're getting to know everybody. Testing in people who have symptoms is very good. So if you have a new headache, even if you have headaches, answer correctly on the form. You may get a test, but if your test is negative, we know you now, and we know that your headaches are not related to COVID-19. So no penalizing. Everyone be truthful, and we'll get through this year well together. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Dr. Cheatham. Just to answer those last few questions that I'm seeing in the chat, you will have to wear your mask all the time. This is not just a rule for the school, but it's also a rule for the state of Pennsylvania, okay? So you are required to wear your mask all the time. The only time you will not have your mask on around people is when you are in your room, especially for those first 14 days, okay? And if there are changes based on the state and what the governor says, we'll let you know. But for now, everyone is wearing a mask. As far as emergency plan, hopefully no one will have to go to the emergency room, but we do have measures, and your parents know about it, as far as the app to make sure that you sign up so you can talk to your doctor remotely. And also, if the symptoms are severe, we will take you to the hospital if that is needed. But we do have nursing staff on campus that will be monitoring you, okay? That is it on my end. I'm so excited to see all of you. Those students that had me at the end of last year knew that I was also sad to be virtual. So I'm excited to actually be in your presence, and I'm excited to have a great year.
We thank Ms. Joseph. Thank you, Ms. Joseph. Very thorough. Thank you, Dr. Cheatham, for jumping in and cleaning up anything else that we had issues with. So everybody, as you can see, there's a lot happening. We are now becoming much more responsible than we had to before. But it doesn't matter. The Lord has us covered. So look, you all have been very efficient today. You've taken care of everything on our orientation schedule for today. And so I'm going to leave you with just a couple of things, and we'll be able to get off early today. That's great. All right. Remember, will we be able to, I'm reading questions from the chat. And one question says, will we be able to choose our classes when we go to PFA? That is a conversation that we will deal with on tomorrow with our registrar. So hang tight. Now, remember at the beginning of our morning at 9 when we got started, I talked a little bit about the house system. We'll have 4 houses and everyone will be a part of the houses. Students, teachers, cafeteria, janitorial, deans, everybody's part of the houses. And so you were supposed to make sure that you were listening today so that when I post and share my questions for your quiz, you can earn points for your house. Now, we'll talk a little bit more about houses further into the week, but I want you to know enough about them now so that you know how you need to participate. We have, I believe I have 4 questions for you today, and you will be emailing me your answers so that I can make note of them and give you your points. And we'll see which house starts off with the most points when school opens next week on Monday. All right, so before I do anything else, those of you who had me last year, you already know my email, but I'm putting it in the chat so that you have it. If you can't see the chat, I am going to say it to you. It is ARHODES@mypineforgeacademy.org. Okay, so you want to make sure that you email me your answer, and I'm typing that in the chat right now. All right, so it is in the chat. My email is there. I'll read it one more time. It's aRhodes@mypineforgeacademy.org. So make sure that you respond to my questions in an email to that email address. All right. I have a couple of questions I see in the chat, and I'm going to take those very quickly, and then I'm going to give you your quiz questions for today. The first one is about quarantine. Students who are coming up today, we have leaders who are coming in today, and Ms. Joseph, if you can help me with a couple of these questions, if you see them. Yeah. Leaders, you are going into quarantine. When your roommate comes, they'll be in the room with you, but your quarantine period officially starts when everybody comes on campus. So we will all wear our masks, we will all socially distance. However, your true quarantine period begins when you arrive on campus. If you missed any information today, I have recorded the session and I will post it a little bit later so that you'll be able to get everything that we talked about. I know that our leaders are constantly in registration mode right now. So if you are one of the leaders or your mom or dad wanted to see this presentation or whichever, it is being recorded and it will be posted later on. Those of you who are asking about ordering out, you won't be able to do that, but the deans have some really interesting things involved with food because your teenagers and your whole life revolves around food, and they're going to chat with you about some of that. Now, I think that that takes care of most of the questions. I do see a question about online learning, and we're going to talk about that later on this week, so we'll handle that at that point. Now, I know I see posted where. You will see it on the Pine Forge YouTube page, I believe.
10:30.
All right, so if you have questions about those pieces, we'll get that to you a little bit later. Now, here are the questions for today, and I will also post these on the YouTube page. Question number 1, what is our theme for this year? What is our theme for this year? Okay, and I'm putting it in the chat. If you're just getting in, please make sure you mute. What is our theme for this school year? That's question number 1. What does our theme mean? Question number 2. Again, what does our theme for this year mean? What do each of the letters stand for? That's question number 2. Question number 3. List 2 improvements on campus. List 2 improvements on campus that you heard about today in Mr. Reynolds' presentation. List 2 things, or 2 improvements rather, on campus. All right. Mr. Reynolds emphasized 3 things that we must do constantly every day. What are those things? Don't write your answer in the chat. Make sure that you email it to me. What are the 3 things that Mr. Reynolds emphasized that we have to do all the time, every day? Okay, and then our last one, list 3 ways that COVID-19 can be spread. All right, so if you get a second, check the chat, make sure that you see those questions. Remember, you want to earn points for your house. At the end of the school year, your house wants to be the house that earns the house cup. That's going to be an exciting situation. So you want to make sure that you're on top of your business. With that being said, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. 5 questions that you need to answer. Again, you're going to send your answers to me at my email address, which is in the chat, but I'll say it again for those of you who may have missed it. It is aroads@mypineforgeacademy.org. aroads@mypineforgeacademy.org. I see a question about how the houses are organized. We will talk about that on Thursday, I believe. So you'll get some information about that later on. With that said, it's time for us to say goodbye. We'll see you again tomorrow morning at 9. Let's bow our heads together and pray. Father, we are thankful for what you have done already for Pine Forge, what you've done for all of our students. We ask that you continue to bless us, continue to protect us in the bubble. Keep us safe, God. Give us what we need. Bless us. And when you come, please save us. In Jesus' name, amen. I'll see you all tomorrow, 9 a.m. USM is bringing us worship this week. Thank you, USM, for doing a great job today. We can't wait to see you tomorrow. Get your stuff packed, get your things together, and I'll see you next week. Bye.